Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers. They, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
They go play action here on first down. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their #1 receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gano out to kick this one away. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Got a man. It's the first NFL catch for Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, going for 14 and also going for a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you'd gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mario Addison able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
And when you think about Luke Kuechly playing middle linebacker, you think to yourself, prototype of what a middle linebacker should be. Plays the run, plays the pass, but his experience and his leadership. When he's on the field, his Carolina Panthers teammates think that they can win any ball game they play.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
Play action. It's Ryan. Flushed out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw on second down is Newton. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes...
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Flexing his muscle at the 30. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now it's Ryan. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And Olsen over the middle. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and pick it up in McCaffrey. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Play action, Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Ryan. Now he'll throw deep left side. So 1:55 to go in the first half. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned it?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. On 2nd down, Freeman.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Tavecchio puts this one through. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Gano out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now it's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
The left side completion to Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there.
Touchdown, Falcons! Julio Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging. A little tapping.
And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Deion Jones in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and...
Can fight it. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 30 yards. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tavecchio. Good on the extra point. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They caught the ball free in the backfield.
Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep...
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano the extra point. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
20. As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th.
Tuesday.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive. Roll it.
Let's go. Stand, fight way.
Now it's a Giant. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. A spin, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And it'll be held in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead now up to 14. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Torrey Smith, watch him go. Past the 20. And they are finally going to stop him, but what a return. All the way to the 10.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore from 6 yards away. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, well, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another. Understand.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Deion Jones in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise him and catch him off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Newton on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Deion Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On second down, here's Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And it's incomplete. Clock now showing 0:05. That's all we have left here in the fourth. One last throw here for Newton. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And it'll bring up third down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked up by Keanu Neal.